Hello, it is I, once again, the Bruce Wayne of Azure Lane, back at it again for a ship analysis of what I have seen so far from these wonderful Eagle Union ships, actually. Okay, so, some people were wondering, where does Guam sit in the large cruiser, category? And here's the deal. She is probably now the best AA Vanguard ship you could possibly have. She has an AA Ghost gun for one thing. And her cannon damage is considerable. But I would say it's not like, it's not, I would say, breaking in any way. But if you compare it to like Kronstadt, I would say it's maybe a little bit better than Kronstadt. Maybe not as good for mobs, but that's just because Kronstadt has 3 guns: a destroyer gun, a light cruiser gun, and a heavy cruiser gun. In terms of her gun efficiency, it's only a little bit behind a Gears, so that's not too bad. Anyway, yeah, I would say this. If you were to put, I'll just show you how I have my Guam equipped. So this is my Guam right now. And obviously this is clearly the best choice of large cruiser gun now. But for her second slot, what gun should you put here? Well, if you're going for surface damage, I would actually say the Tashkent gun is probably best for most situations. And the reason I say that is because since, unless you are going into the map with the utmost highest sky cancer possible. So her second skill increases the AA every time, or not, this is her first skill. It increases the AA every time her secondary guns fire. And then after it's fired 5 times, all your ships with a lower AA stat than her get a buff. Unless you're doing World 15 or maybe World 13, I would say, it's actually just better to maximize her surface damage. And it looks like to me anyway. So this gun gives you the most firepower boost because it gives you 35 firepower. On the other hand, this gun slot itself only has 65% efficiency. So it does not actually do that much damage on its own, which is why I would say you might be better off just maximizing this slot for firepower to increase your main gun. However, so I currently have her fitted for maximum survivability with the beaver tag and the high performance steering gear. There's other things you could put on her. You could also put on her the VH armor plating, which as of right now, I think would probably not be all that good for her if she's facing torpedoes. But the fact that she is such a high anti-air ship means you'll take more damage from aircraft, but I mean, she could compensate for that. And then for her augment, you can choose between the Great Sword, or you can choose between the lance. So, wait, hang on a sec. Equip. She's currently in battle. Oh, damn, I have her in battle. Okay, so here's the deal. If you go to the depot. Wait, where's my augment gears? Special. Here we go. Okay, so the lance, here's the thing. The lance gives you accuracy and AA. Guam does not need AA. This is not necessarily, she doesn't need AA at all, really. But the accuracy she can take advantage of. On the other hand, the Great Sword gives you firepower and torpedo. However, she has no torpedo, so the torpedo is useless. But if you gave her the lance, the AA is really not all that worth it But the accuracy is, so if you have to choose between these two augments, what you're really choosing between, to me at least, is firepower or accuracy. And I picked firepower because she already has a skill that buffs her accuracy. So if you go here, her first skill actually increases her accuracy by 15%, but her accuracy is already better than the other large cruisers. It's better than a lot of heavy cruisers too. Like you go to Brest, accuracy is 132. Go to Agir, 134. Kronstadt has the lowest accuracy at 126. But so Guam has already the best accuracy, and then she boosts her own accuracy. So I don't think she needs per se an accuracy boost. So this is why I gave her firepower or the greatsword instead. And then I just gave her this gun, which boosts her accuracy somewhat. Anyway, overall, I like Guam. I like her a lot. I will start using her as a main tank in place of Anchorage. And I do believe her survivability still does not exceed Anchorage's, mainly because Anchorage has that smoke screen, which is that smoke screen is broken. On the other hand, Anchorage deals poor damage, and Guam will actually slap the enemy really hard. So I would say Guam, overall, better main tank, I think. Overall, better main tank. Now let's go to Laffy. So we're going on over to close that. Laffy 2. Laffy 2 is one of the most broken ships to enter Azure Lane. This ship is powerful. Her survivability is busted, mainly because she has that skill where, you know, it limits the amount of damage that can be done to her. And then she has basically her own Eagle Union damage control, and you can add damage control on top of that, that's insane. So, and her efficiencies are like pretty high for both torpedo and and her main gun. And then she has decent firepower and torpedo. So the way I equipped my Laffy is I did give her, I only have one of these at plus 13, by the way, so I gave it to her, and she has been able to use this quite effectively. Her torpedo is, yeah, with this is pretty effective on her. Obviously I picked this mainly because this is overall still the best destroyer gun now. And then she has her own AA boosting skills to a point where I don't believe she needs like a serious AA gun unless you are going into World 15 or serious sky cancer comes your way. So I gave her this to actually boost her firepower and increase her ability to basically damage with her main gun. But I also gave her this is the best gear you can put on a gun-focused destroyer, and unless you were there for the HoloLive event, you probably won't have this gear. So there are other options, but I gave her the HoloLive Gamers tag, which gives her this massive boost in health, and then I also gave her the team emblem, which gives her small EVA accuracy boost, but it increases her damage dealt by 3%, and that counts for her main gun, her torpedo, and her skills. So yeah, this is what I have equipped with my Laffy. Having said that, oh, she's currently in battle. If you do not have these other options, I would say the Eagle Union damage control will work very well on her because it stacks on top of her skill for survivability. Another thing you could put on her is the intel report, or really the Arctic intel report, which, you know, it'll give her some firepower, but it also gives her health, which destroyers need. So those are very good options. The dual swords, she is much more of a firepower based destroyer, but she's good at she's a blend of both, but leaning more towards firepower. So I gave her this. I think she does better with this than the other one. Having said that, let's move on to Flasher, who Flasher is, I would say, just from looking at her stats, pretty much the same as Kavala or Albacore base level, but at the same time, she has this skill right here, mainly the one that increases. It's this one. Increases this boat's ASR by 1 and increases this boat's torpedo crit rate by 15%. Damage dealt against light armor enemies by 10%. But it increases your Gato class torpedo and accuracy by 10%. And I honestly think this might be just a little bit better than Archerfish's buff. I'm not sure, as I haven't tested it, but just observing it, it looks like it could be better. Yeah, that's Flasher in a nutshell. By the way, you will probably need to still equip her with the snorkel and the hull resistant augment, because her oxygen doesn't really... It's not really anything different from the other subs. Flasher is indeed a great submarine, though, and I do intend to raise her. So moving on to Constellation. So Constellation, who was definitely one of the very much waifu tier ships released in this event. There isn't really all that much spectacular about her, other than this, I would say, is she increases... So she has the Soaring Star Chaser skill, which increases her firepower and accuracy by 20%, which both is useful for a battleship or battlecruiser. Increases this ship's damage dealt by 10% to enemies with less speed than this ship. So the conclusion I came to is this is actually worth getting and using. But see, her skill is, or her speed is only 33, which is, I would say, good for a battleship. A lot of destroyers have a skill, or have a speed of 42, 43. So I guess you would actually be able to get most ships with this if you just gave her one piece of speed boosting gear. And right now there is the Cosmic Kicks, which is, this is good for her, but it only gives you 5 speed. So her speed will go up to 38, which that's going to be good for that. It'll get you over most ships. It won't get you over it won't get you over a lot of ships though. So but it gives her a lot of EVA, which for a battleship or battlecruiser, that will go a long way towards her survivability. On the other hand, the even better gear, I think, would be the gyroscope. If you upgrade one of these to plus 13, it actually gives her pretty decent accuracy, which every battleship or battlecruiser is hungry for. But it also gives her 8 speed. So her speed will go up to 41. So basically only certain destroyers you wouldn't be able to outspeed with this and use the skill on. So only a couple certain destroyers, really. It'll make her be able to use it on almost every ship, really. I would also say, as far as her, you can equip her with the gyroscope, and then I would say maybe one white shell. Or, maybe one white shell would be good. But yeah, any gun, since she has this skill that, she will want a 2-gunned main gun, because she fires whenever she fires a barrage whenever she fires her main gun, and she will want some kind of Eagle Union gear. So I would recommend a destroyer gun that you can forge from the Gear Lab, if that can be put on her. I think I'm pretty sure that can be stuck on her, but if not, I would say the other Eagle Union destroyer gun. I'm gonna check that right now, actually, just to be sure. Where is that gun? This one. Yeah, this should be able to be... No, wait. Excluding Odin Scharnhorstman. Okay, yeah, this should be able to be put on her. I have not used Constellation that much. From what I can see, though, she has a niche use. Overall, not that spectacular. On the other hand, San Jacinto... Moving on to San Jacinto. San Jacinto is, I would say now, the best anti-sub ship in the game. She launches anti-sub airstrikes periodically. Her surface damage and fighter damage is okay. I guess it makes her usable. But that anti-sub skill makes her the deadliest anti-sub ship in the game, especially if you equip her with the VT-51 Squadron. Which, yes, I was disappointed that this was not a converging torpedo bomber. I'm still a little teed about that, but that's just how it is. It is actually the best anti-sub ship or plane or anti-sub plane in the game because it has such a high rate of fire. This thing is made to sink subs. So I got this. I'm not going to plus it or upgrade it to plus 13 just yet because it seems to be doing fine on its own. But that's not to say that in the future we could not possibly run into what's a good term for subs? Underwater cancer. Underwater cancer is possible. So if we run into severe underwater cancer, I will upgrade this to plus 13. And then at the last is Louisville. And Louisville, I gotta say, overall, she's like Reno light. Reno, in my opinion, also has a carrier damage reduction skill, but Reno overall as a surface combatant performs better than Louisville in virtually every other way. So, yeah, I would say overall, I am pleased with this event. I still very much wish we had an American converging torpedo bomber because I would slap that on Independence so fast. Yeah. Anyway, that is my brief analysis of these ships. I shall continue streaming and playing Azur Lane in the future. I look forward to this. As always, I'd like to wish all you Shigikons a farewell and following seas. And if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Take it easy, guys.